Guys, they said Ooni of Ife's palace is in disarray as Ile Ife women accused the Oloris of taking the missing ancient sword, allegedly. Few days, I think during the weekend, even before that Sunday event, a lot of things have happened in the palace. And from the look of things, that is what led to Queen Naomi appearing with Kabiyesi. So they say Kabiyesi was in his chamber with Dr. Impetus, and while they are about to do the do, they said there was thunder and lightning. And when that thunder and lightning came, it did not just do the way it usually do, bam, and disappear. They said the thing was going back and forth, continuing itself, doing as if someone is sending it, resending it, and all of that. And they say when that thing happened, Kabiyesi fell on the floor, and the lady that is with Kabiyesi, which is that Dr. Impetus, they said the way she managed to grab her slippers and her nightwear, the way she was running out of the palace screaming, she alerted a lot of people who did not even know what was happening. And they say when that thing was happening, that cloud was oozing into the Kabiyesi's chamber continuously. And they said that thunder and lightning destroyed a lot of things in Kabiyesi's chamber. Then Kabiyesi rushed out to get, when he got himself, he got up from where he fell down. They said he rushed to where he kept the key to open the a little box that is inside a small house inside his chamber where he kept the ancient sword. Because that thing that happened, that thunder and lightning was like a threat or if an attack to him. So he needed to get hold of that ancient sword so that he will be able to fight whatever it is. But unfortunately, from what we are hearing, they said Kabiyesi could not find that ancient sword. So that was when they started calling Ifa priest them and all of that. He alerted everyone, and at that point, people were coming with their suggestion, elders, old men, and all of that. So while they were coming, they started doing some incantation, but they were unable to find out where that ancient sword is and who must have taken it away. Then, from what we are hearing, they say why the Ifa priests are making inquiries, the elders are making inquiries, the women, there are women in the palace who have known or who have been seeing what these women, these Oloris, are capable of doing. Because there was a time one of them, maybe two of them, brought different deities into the palace and all of that. And coupled with the fact that they also know about the incident where Blow Blow took away Kabiyesi's protective charm, So they were all, they all believed that one or two Oloris must know about that ancient sword. But come to think of it, the ancient sword in question, they said no mortal, no man can go close to it, let alone touch it, except Kabiyesi. And the reason Kabiyesi can do that is because they have given him all the powers. They have bestowed all the powers. The gods are with him, everything. That is why he can be able to get hold of that ancient sword. And remember that anytime this Oloris bring in their jazz and some of these dirty things that they do, whenever Kabiyesi talk about bringing out the ancient sword, they are always on the run. Yes, I remember that elder that died some time ago, Oba, I've forgotten his name, maybe because he's gone and we have forgotten about him. There was a time he was doing too much fighting Kabiyesi and the throne. They said the moment Kabiyesi went and brought out that ancient sword, that the way he ran, and for a few minutes they said he was deaf and dumb. Until after some time, he was able to regain he was able to speak again. I'm just trying to explain to you how powerful they said the ancient sword is. And if that ancient sword is that powerful, I don't think the Oloris have the power to get hold of it, let alone taking it away from its position. But one thing we should know is that you can't trust these women. the more reason why you shouldn't trust them is that there are elders who knows the culture and tradition of these people more than Kabiyesi that are using these women to fight the throne, you know. And they said the Ile Ife women, the women in the palace, you know, the palace is like a very big community that a lot of people live in there. So the women in that palace that are not the Oloris, they came out in their numbers saying that the Oloris know what happened to that ancient sword and they must provide it. That if they did not provide it, they are going to show them the other side of them. And they said the Oloris were crying that they do not know anything about that ancient sword. They said the way Olori TikTok is crying, you know that one, she likes to cry. She likes to cry. Then, come to think of it, information have it that Kabiyesi is the only one that has the key to that small room that houses a box that contains that ancient sword. Yes, but you know that Kabiyesi's chamber also belongs to the Oloris. Because that is where you will hear that Olori TikTok entered and collected Kabiyesi's dollars. That is where you will hear that Olori TikTok entered and collected Queen Naomi's passport and sent to her mother. That is where you will hear that Olori TikTok entered and collected some documents that house documents and wanted to go and sell the house. So at this point, with everything they have done, you will not blame the ladies, the women of Ile Ife, for shouting at them, telling them to bring out the ancient sword. If they have not been doing things like this, maybe nobody would have accused them. But because the women know that these ladies are not to be trusted, there is this particular deity that they brought into the palace. I think it's Blo, or is it? I've forgotten the person that brought in that deity. And they said it was a powerful one. So if that person can do such a thing, that person might be able to know how to go about the ancient sword. You know that the ancient sword, maybe if you have the knowledge of it, you might be able to touch it or do anything with it. You know? So at this point, we don't know who to believe. Whether the Oloris are lying or they are not lying. But they say the women are calling them liars. They are not good people. They are witches and wizards. That they should provide the ancient sword. Because they said that thing got Kabiyesi devastated. That living without that ancient sword, that the palace is not secured if a little thing, as in, is not secured at all. That anything can happen to the king if the enemies find out that there is no ancient sword in that palace at that moment, because the ancient sword have the capacity to protect the palace from what we are hearing. You know, so that is why they say the women are angry and they are shouting at these people, dragging them, telling them to bring out the ancient sword. Why the Oloris, they said, are in tears, saying that they do not know what happens to the ancient sword. At this point, we don't know who to believe or who not to believe. Don't forget that these are all alleged information, okay? Always bear that in mind. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and follow my page. I love you guys. Bye. See you.